Welcome to the Love Shack.
I'm so glad that I started a little bit early because, like, I'm nervous. And also, my fan needs to charge or my laptop is going to be overheated. But welcome on in. Thank you for getting first for Super Cutie. Can you hear me all right? You hear me all right? Starts crying. Closed captions, don't do this to me. Oh, it's because I'm far away. Never mind. Test. Okay. Oh no. Yes. Oh no. Where is it? No. Keep that locked in. Whoa. How did I make you not big? Oh god. Not me having difficulties when I just tested it. Not even a few hours ago. Screen capture? There we go. This is window. Let me try some. Okay. That's short. Good. There we go. I don't know why when I click on it, it's not showing me what I need. I think I'm gonna cry. I think I'm gonna actually cry. I had everything like set up and I tested it. Bestie, hi. I'm going to cry. I had everything like set up and for some reason it doesn't have like 6 minutes. I love you. What love got to do with this? Aren't you streaming? Yeah, I have a good work. Sometimes I think to myself, do you guys need to see the book? But then I think to myself, yes, you do. Did I move the closed captions? Oh! This is blasphemy. Hope everyone's having a good day. Despite all these technical difficulties. I say, but it's like literally not y'all problem. Alright, we're gonna do this. Where? Yeah, that sounded weird. How unprofessional. Welcome in, Raiders.
Welcome to the Love Shack Sydney Gamer 1.
Naya, hi. Hi, Sage. Hi, everyone. Welcome on in. Happy Black History Month. I just started. All of the PNG YouTubers in this stream have been so cute. I'm obsessed. Thank you so much. Make sure to do exclamation point Sage too. But welcome. Hi everyone. My name is Naya V. Kuma and I'm your Gremlin Thimble on the internet. We are currently doing a read and raid stream created by Pedal Pages. It's so nice to meet all of you.
Welcome to the Love Shack Pixel 8 ED Cake.
Oh, I did the wrong shout out. It's so great to meet all of you. We are currently uplifting Black voices and Black authors. That book cover is gorgeous. It is.
Welcome to the Love Shack December.
Let me There we go. Yeah, today we are going to read How to Become a Better Adult by an amazing Black storyteller called by Jacqueline I. I decided on this book because I haven't had really a time to like sit down and actually read for a while. And they've written like an amazing works like How to Escape Death and I Live to Serve the Witch. And the last one is also on my need to read list because I read a synopsis. And just recently I went to Barnes and Nobles and saw the book in store. I was thinking about buying it, but I didn't because I got distracted. But yeah, they're a great storyteller. I've already read some of it before I think the New Year's. And it's really, really good. I've been hooked on it ever since. Before we get into the story, the nitty gritty of it, Thank you so much for hosting. I'm excited to get into this. I love magical girls now. I know, it's so good. Like the beginning, I can't wait to read this. I am nervous, so I'm sorry if I like talk fast or if my mic peaks. But this is a really, really good story. And I got hooked on it the moment it began. I already have somebody I don't like in the book. That's how I know I like the book. But yeah, before we get started, I have like an entire list. I have an entire list of like books that I found that I really like that are on my must read list. I put them in my little script if you want to read them. I was doing a research paper right before I was doing stream. I just finished my research paper and I found a book called Let's Talk About Love by Claire Can. And please ignore Nightbot. Nightbot has some things to say. Ignore Nightbot if you see Nightbot. Okay, I just want to say that too. I forgot to turn him off. Congrats on finishing your paper. Thank you. But let's talk about love. My paper was about asexuality as a Black person. And
welcome to the Love Shack, Jellybud.
I thought I turned you off. Well, oh well. But let's talk about I'm tripping over my words. The book is called Let's Talk About Love by Claire Can, and is a beautiful story about a biromantic asexual Black woman. And since my paper was about being asexual as Black, I just felt like it was a fitting book to put in like the little reading list that I have and I made up for you guys, because I'm asexual and I'm Black. So why wouldn't I talk about it? And I read like a synopsis and a few like bits and pieces before I even like declared that, yeah, I'm putting this on my list. Me too. I love to see it. I really do. But most of the books on this list is about love, considering this is the month of love. And so we have Let's Talk About Love by Claire Kent.
Welcome to the Love Shack Links Mini.
We have Black Love Letters by Cole Brown and Natalie Johnson. And they're all Black authors, by the way. Every single book that I'm listing off, they're all Black authors. So Black Love Letters by Cole Brown and Natalie Johnson is a collection of stories that tells of people's pain and suffering, expression of immeasurable like responsibilities of joy and love within the Black communities. So it's basically a collection of Black love in general. Then we have Grumpy Romance by Nia Authors. This is an office romance with arrogant bosses, and I'm a sucker for any books about arrogant bosses and then like fierce women behind said arrogant bosses that like humble them. And so this one is about a beautiful interracial relationship about a father who is very arrogant, very like just
welcome to the Love Shack Seplex.
He's just like fierce women. Yes. Hi, Locke. It's about a very fierce Black woman who meets this grumpy man and pretty much turn his life around by just being who she is. And I think it's a beautiful. I read a synopsis in like a little bit of every chapter of every book I put on this list. By the way, I didn't have to, but these are actually really good books. So I was like, I might as well. My favorite one on this list is Wash Day Diaries by Jamila Rouser and Robin Smith. As a Black person, we all have wash days, right? Like it is so, it takes me like 3 hours to do my sister's hair. Wash Day Diaries is good. So you've read it? Oh my God. Yes. Wash Day Diaries when I like read the first, like, I think first few pages, I was like, okay, this has to be something I need to read right afterwards. Like, it's a story about four best friends telling us about their ups and downs, living in the Bronx and expressing personal experiences with their own black hair care. I need to wash my hair so bad. I need to do my hair. I need to take these braids out. Like, it is so hard to actually sit down and relax. And like, it's so tiring to do your hair. Like, you have to detangle it and you have to like wash it. You have to make sure you don't put in the wrong things like sulfates and stuff in it. Like, there are good sulfates, but like, it's just ugh. I haven't washed my hair since last Saturday. I don't remember when I washed my hair, but then again, I got my hair done 2 weeks ago. It's probably time for me to wash my hair. I got my hair done 2 weeks ago for my birthday, so yeah, I'm long overdue for a hair appointment. It's so hard to detangle it, and then like, I don't want to do it myself. Once my fro got my length and I locked up and washed it, I can't do fros. I mean, not froze. I can't do locks. Like, locks are so hard to take care. Oh, yeah. Your hair wasn't nappy. It's a little dry, but it wasn't nappy. If you want a non-fictional read, I read Twisted, The Tangle History. Ooh. I'm gonna put that on my list, actually. Me actually writing it down. I bleached and dyed my hair last week, so I've just been keeping it moisturized. I know the product build up. The pause before, just a little dry. I sometimes miss my locks, but then I remember the bottles of shampoo I went through, and yeah. I was just talking to my best friend yesterday about like retwisting their hair, and I was just talking about how long that's gonna take them, and they're like, I'm too lazy to get my hair retwisted. Oh my god. Taking care of your hair as a black person is just so... Log ain't rocking locks. Shh, don't tell anyone. Don't tell anyone. Shush. I don't even know why he told on himself. False advertisement. No more. I'm so sad. Oh. Listen, to all my lock havers, we really be going through it. Yeah. 7 years in a game. It's a bit easier for me, I guess, since I don't retwist. Really? Oh my god. For me, my problem is I always leave my hair out. That's also why I throw on a bonnet, so nobody can see my hair. Because I always have my hair out. Or I throw on like... You see how my PNG has like a little wrap? Like a... It's not even like an actual headband. It's a wrap. Like, I take like a wrap and I make it into a headband to push my hair back. I rock my fro. Exactly. Stella's Stellar Hair is also a super cute picture book. Stellar Hair. You wearing scarves a lot and wearing bonnets because it's too much. Yes, and then like, I'm at home. So like, what's the point? Oh yeah, okay, wait. Another one, hold on, cause like, I really want to actually sit down and talk about this. You don't understand. I hate doing my hair sometimes. I have two struggles: paying to get my hair done and doing my hair. Okay? Because if I do my own hair, it's not gonna look right. It's gonna look lopsided because I need to keep practicing. But my arms get tired because I'm practicing braiding. And then paying for one, my wallet cries. Because it costs like $100 to get your hair braided. Like, and that's with my own hair. That's not like you have to buy hair, because you also have to buy hair to get your hair braided. And it's like, ooh, I don't want to do this. Being a black woman is a lot of hard work and money. You're telling me. Thank you for punching in the punch card.
Captain Shane 1107 punched the punch card.
Owie. Wait, where was I? Oh, I'm going off script. It's okay. Outdrawn is a sapphic rivals to lovers romance. That's literally the full title. I thought it was just called Outdrawn. No, you gotta say it like the slick name, slick back is Outdrawn, a sapphic rivals to lovers romance by Deanna Gray. It's about two amazing and talented artists who are forced to work together, but they're longtime rivals. And the hardest part for them isn't working together, it's them falling in love with each other. And it's like so silly because like the first girl is like, oh yeah, you suck and all this other stuff, while the other girl's just like, I'm just trying to progress. Like, you got all these awards and I don't even care about an award. I just care about working at this company because it's been my dream for so long. And I'm like, this is crazy. A bit mean slick back. Another story. Oh wait, this is my speed round list. Oops. Speed round. Sometimes I trip on How Happy We Can Be by Nicholas Perkins. It is a lovely book about personal struggles through the lenses of a Black Southern woman. Love and Color, Mythical Tales Around the World by Babalo. This is a collection of love stories from a Nigerian goddess to a Ghanaian spokesperson, all going through different paths of love and betrayal. Skin of the Sea by Natasha Bowen. Oop, not Brown. Is about a god turned into a mermaid, has to protect the fate of the world and her people. The Bennett Women by Eden Kubi is a beautiful story of friends who try to love, and it is said to be a modern spin-off of Pride and Prejudice, which I did not check if it was, but I might check if it is, because like anything that's like Pride and Prejudice, I am actually very keen on looking into, because it was just such a good story. I am. Oh, do you want me to call you Amethyst, Moon? I usually just shorten people's names. Love and Color. Oh, did you like it? Oh wait, I loved every bit of it. Yeah. I read like a few pages and I was like, yeah, this is good. Real Men Knit. Amethyst, please. It's nice to meet you, Amethyst. Real Men Knit by Kawana Jackson is about a man who has like a history of being a player and has recently just lost his mother, and he's now going through the motions of falling in love.
Welcome to the Love Shack Amethyst Moon 101.
Owie. Oh, that was the punch card sound. Of being a player, recently lost his mother, and now he has a store to protect, and he's also falling in love with somebody he's trying to work with. And it's just an overall just like cute little story.
Welcome to the Love
I liked
Shack
Real Men
Amethyst
Knit.
Moon 1107.
I'm glad that a lot of people like have read some of the stories on this list. Like, because when I was like looking this up and like researching it and like on my own, because I already had some of these stories on my list, I just couldn't remember what they were about. I was like, yeah, that's the reason why I chose this. Real Men Knit, I was like, when I read the synopsis of it, I was like, this is really cute. Like, I love the story kind of stories where it's like, yeah, they used to be big and bad, but like they're actually not big and bad. That's just like, you know, sort of like mask that they put on. They're actually sweethearts. They're just here to be themselves and have fun and navigate through life, you know. The one you have on the screen is one I want to read. I follow the author for it. But oh, if you do what is it? If you do exclamation point book, I believe that's what I put it as. If you do exclamation point book, they actually have a free copy of it and you can follow along. I think she had a clothing line. Oh, yeah, I think she does. Yeah, there you go. You can get the free version there, and she also has other books that she created that is on her website. It's really, really good books. The one I mentioned before, what was it called? I Live to Serve the Witch. That one was really good, and I really want to finish reading it because I'm like, oh my goodness. Because I remember reading it at my library, my school's library before everything happened and stuff. Before I couldn't like visit it anymore, I guess. And it was a really like, I can't remember everything about it, but it was like a really like good book. I can't wait to like read everything that I put on it.
Welcome to the Love Shack Teacup TV.
Okay, and then last but certainly not least is The Monsters We Defy by Leslie Penelope. It's an enriching story about spirits and daring heist, and it honestly seems kind of silly. Like it seems like more of like a serious mood, very like adult, but it's also very like whimsical in a way. And I'm not gonna hold you. I did choose this book mostly because of the cover and because of the name. It's like Monsters We Defy, and I'm like, that's kind of nice. But all these books that I listed are on the script that I have. I'm gonna keep the script up. So do exclamation point script if you want to look up the books. Some of them do have links to the stories if you want to see them. Some of them do not. And I do apologize for that. I thought I put it for all of them. So, so valid. The cover art is so nice. It really is. But yeah, after all of that, if you want to read along, just do exclamation point book. You can download it and it goes straight to your email. They give you the entire PDF and you can just read along with me. And you can also have the book for yourself. But as for now, we will now start. Not all of my sound alerts are off because I'm a liar. But thank you for all the raid. Thank you for the raids, the raid and the follows. Please enjoy the stream. Get all comfy and cozy. And today we are reading How to Be a Better Adult by Jacqueline I. Because I'm a liar. I tried to turn them all off. I really did. But yeah, I'm a liar. Listen, it was either good mic quality or turning off all of my stuff. Okay. The third floor. The third floor of William Hensley and Associates was shrouded in dimness. Dimness because it wasn't quite pitch dark, pitch black darkness, but rather a dreary gray. The dark window shades were tightly drawn. Fluorescent lights flickered overhead, teasing the third floor employees with a few brief moments of illumination before the gloom sat back in. The only constant source of light was the dull glow of computer screens. Black-clad employees sat at cramped cubicles before their screens, working with their heads down and speaking in hushed whispers when they did speak. But most times they worked in silence. The gentle click-clacking of computer keys and scratching of pencils to paper was the only sound to be heard. In the dimness, at a corner cubicle sat Hope Apiako. Hope was a small woman with an equally small demeanor, although she wouldn't beg to differ. Her kinky hair was pulled tightly into a neat bun, and her crisp flaps were starched to perfection. Oh. Silly me, I forgot to put my glasses on. Okay. The way I read glasses, and then I remembered to put my glasses on. On the bridge of her nose sat a pair of round framed glasses that she didn't need to see, but rather to appear well read. And she was well read. She just needed everyone else to know it. Hope glanced at the calendar on her desk, eyeing the day's red-marked appointment. It's almost time, she thought, her heart pounding in anticipation. She cleared the nervousness from her throat and took a sip of cold tea from her mug. Bzzz. Hope jumped a bit in her seat. She forgot to switch her cell phone off to silent. This was a mortal sin on the third floor, as phones were banned for being unsensible tools of distraction. Hope fumbled with her desk drawer as each vibration grew louder than the last, piercing the silence, then blanketing the office. Thank you. I'm hoping my nervousness doesn't show. A loud, sharp shh shot through the air, followed by chair creaks and rustling papers. Someone was getting upset. Heat rose to Hope's cheeks, and her palms slipped with sweat, making it even harder to find that pesky phone. Finally, she spotted it, hidden underneath a pile of post-it notes. Hope grabbed the phone with her slippery hand, trying not to drop it, and quickly hung up. The missed call was from her landlady, Lisa. She knew it was only a matter of time before she received a text message reminding her to pay her rent. "Hey, Hope!" A whispered voice shot around the corner of Hope's cubicle. Hope winced at the sound of her name. It's been a while since she's been directly spoken to at work. She leaned back in her rolling chair and peeked over to see her cubicle neighbor, Alex, staring back at her. Alex had a kind of pleasant face that always seemed to be smiling, even when he wasn't. He sat up straight, but not too straight, and casually commanded the respect of a seasoned executive, although he was quite young. Gonna lurk and make some food, have time with great book. Your roast is beautiful and cozy. Thank you. You guys are all so nice. His brown eyes gleamed through the dimness, and his dark hair was parted and slicked like a 1950s car salesman. Hope held up her cell phone and mouthed, "Sorry." "You're fine." He swatted away Hope's apology. "I was actually gonna ask you for a favor, but you look really busy today," he whispered. Hope swelled with pride. She couldn't help it. He said she looked not just busy, but really busy. He must have noticed her glancing at her calendar. Or maybe it was the tea. No. It was definitely the calendar. "A bit, but not too busy to help out a cubicle neighbor." She flashed a toothy grin, but she returned. "What do you need?" "Oh, could you please grab me another cup of coffee? Thanks." He thrust his empty coffee-stained mug into her hands and swiveled back to his work.
Welcome to the Love Shack, Anybub.
Hope sat in her embarrassment for a moment. "Thank you for the follow." Racking her brain for something, anything to say to save face, snatch her shreds of power back. She imagined rolling over to Alex and letting him know she was far too busy to run errands like some kind of lowly assistant. She thought of simply placing the mug on her desk and returning to her calendar without acknowledging his audacious presence in her workspace. But instead, she responded to Alex's back with an Sure. Hope mentally kicked herself for being a pushover and stood to make the trek to the break room at the other end of the floor. The third floor felt more like a labyrinth than a corporate office. The layout was so haphazard that one could only assume the interior designer, architect, or whoever deals with such things as cubicle arrangement had been laughed out of business. Not all the blame could be placed on their shoulders, however. The low light was actually a preference of Liz, the third floor manager. She thought having employees squint and hunch over their work would make them produce more efficiently. But in reality, they resembled evil henchmen crafting dastardly plans in the dark. As you can imagine, this didn't do much to lift the third floor's waning morale. Hope checked her watch. It was 9:45. She quickened her pace. She didn't want to be away from her desk for too long. Nearly time for her appointment. The break room housed a giant, glowing, state-of-the-art coffee machine. Liz was a fan of cutting corners, but when it came to coffee, W&H employees were provided the cream of the crop. They had to stay alert and awake to work after all. Hope dispensed fresh black coffee into Alex's mug, then scurried out of the break room. On her way out, she bumped into a small woman nearly spilling on her. Instead, the scalding coffee splashed onto Hope's hand, which she had used to shield her near victim from the hot liquid. "I'm so sorry," Hope whispered to the woman as she winced in pain and wiped her wet hot hand on her pant leg. Unfortunately for Hope, the little woman she bumped into was Monica, the head of HR. Monica is the person I don't like. Just to tell you. Usually, Monica worked on the 7th floor, so her presence was an unpleasant surprise. There she stood with her mouth gaping open and her arms outstretched with a pen in one hand, like the humanized version of saying, "You've got to be kidding me." "You gotta be kidding me," she whispered. "Did you spill that on me?" Hope examined her throbbing red palm, then looked Monica up and down. From her atrocious red bob with gaudy blonde highlights down to her tacky shoes, there was not a single drop of coffee on her pristinely plain being. "No, you're fine." "Jeez, I just brought this skirt last week," Monica sharply exhaled and wiped imaginary coffee off her white skirt. "There's nothing there," Hope assured her. "You've definitely spilled on me," Monica sighed. "I can't believe this." She gripped at as she continued wiping. Hope had dealt with people like Monica enough to know that she was putting on a show to receive sympathy of some sort. And for that very reason, she wasn't going to give in. "Mix vinegar with water and spray it on the stain. It'll lift right up," Hope recalled a handy tidbit she read while browsing the web.
Welcome to the Love Shack Margarita.
Thank you for the follow. Monica stopped fussing with her skirt and glared at her. "Thanks for the tip." Her eyes moved from Hope to the coffee cup. "What are you doing with Alex's mug anyway?" Hope examined the nondescript mug in her hand. Monica shot Hope with an accusatory look that made her uncomfortable. "Does he know you have it?" What a microaggression. "Oh." "Yes," Hope clenched her jaw and gripped the mug tighter. "I'm grabbing coffee for him." Well, I'll let you back to that," Monica hissed dismissively. "And all's forgotten for the coffee spill, okay?" She slit her eyes and flashed a patronizing smile, bestowing her forgiveness upon her like some precious jewel. "Okay, see you around." Hope returned her smile for the sake of office politics. And because her entire career and livelihood could be ended with one stroke of the pen to Monica's tiny, manicured fingers. Back at her cubicle, Hope handed Alex his half-spilled coffee. "Here you go." "Thanks, you're the best." Alex grabbed the mug without looking up from his computer screen. Hope fumed. In her head, of course. In reality, she responded to a slight with a pathetic, "You're welcome," and plopped back into her chair, defeated. Click-clack, click-clack. A shadowy figure with obnoxiously noisy shoes approached Hope's cubicle. The shadow was a woman, a tall, lanky woman with bony hips that jutted as she walked, and pale gray skin that perfectly blended into the gloomy atmosphere. Her stately bob whipped her cheekbones as she darted her head from side to side, peering over cubicles, ensuring that everyone was indeed working. And what are you working on? The woman stood behind her now, her tall, willowy body towering Hope's tiny seated frame. Hello, Liz. With her glasses on and pages on notes strewn across her desk, Hope appeared knee-deep in some pressing matters. She was very proud of herself. I'm preparing for our meeting this morning. Our meeting? Yes, you sent me a meeting invite a few days ago. What's your name? It's Hope? Obikyo? Remember? Hope's voice cracked just a bit. No. Liz checked her smartwatch. But there does seem to be an appointment blocked off on my calendar, so let's get this over with. Hope had been waiting her entire year-long career for this moment. Before this week, the only meeting she ever been called into was with the Employee Morale Committee to discuss changing the paint color in the women's bathroom. She'd chosen a seafoam green, more specifically a shade called Sea Maiden, which she read was an excellent mood booster. They thanked her, and the next week the walls were a darker shade of their usual gray. This meeting would be different though. This meeting had an exclamation point attached to the email invite, a glowing red exclamation point in fact. It was urgent, and Hope knew that urgency was reserved for very important matters. Liz effortlessly whipped through the cubicle maze, throwing intimidating looks at hunched over employees. Hope followed, fine-tuning her professional demeanor on the way. Chest high, chin up. She read about the power of posture in a book. She couldn't quite remember what it was called or who had written it, but the cover was green. Or maybe it was blue. No, it was definitely green. No, it was blue, she thought as she straightened her back and firmly gripped the handle of her briefcase. As the pair reached Liz's office, Hope felt a lump harden in her throat. I can do this, she thought, shaking away her nerves. I'm capable. I'm charming. People like me. It was a mantra her therapist, Dr. Marley, had made her repeat until she claimed to believe it. She remembered the session like it was yesterday. Because it was. I'm capable. I'm charming. People like me. Now say it again, Dr. Marley demanded while leaning forward on his stool, his wild curls contrasting with his dull, droopy eyes. But like you mean it. Mean it, Hope. Hope forced a smile. I'm capable. I'm charming. People like me. Why do people like you? Because I'm capable and charming?
Hi.
Thank you for the resubscription, Howo. Welcome on in. Do you believe that? Naya paused. Oh, I'm Naya. Hope paused for a moment, taking some time to pull at a loose thread in her jeans. Dr. Marley's eyes sunk even further into his skull as he let out a heavy sigh in frustration. If you continue to hold on to these false beliefs about yourself, I'd be forced to extend our session. I do believe it, Hope declared without lifting her head. Extended sessions meant more money spent, as Dr. Marley charged by the minute. A smile crept across Dr. Marley's face, lifting the heavy bags that hung from his eyes. I believe it, Dr. Marley. Hope nodded her head with conviction. Of course she didn't believe it, but at least the lie made him happy. No sense in both of them being miserable, really. I'm capable. I'm charming. People like me. 7 mantras later, Hope found herself standing in Liz's office for the first time in a year. Unlike the rest of the floor, are we back? My OBS just told me that we disconnected. No. We're back. I'm not gonna hold you. We have been having some power outages today, and I really hope that we're okay. Oh yes, it's so annoying like that. It always happens to my stream too. Oh, I don't know if this is OBS or if it's actually like my neighborhood. Oh my goodness. I don't know what's the last thing you guys heard, but like Hope just sat down at the desk. Manifesting smooth sailing the rest of the stream. Thank you. I'll just reread. Hope took her seat, paying close attention to her posture. Honestly, it only cut out for 10 seconds. Oh, okay, good. Hope took her seat, paying close attention to her posture. She sat up straight, kept her shoulders relaxed and open, crossed her legs, and let her hands gently lay on the armrest beside her. She stopped herself from nervously wiggling her foot. Liz tapped her long, talon-like fingers on the desk, almost impatiently as she read through emails. Ah, here we go. She peered down at Hope. How do you feel about your career here at William Hensley? I don't know how to read, so I don't know, sorry. Are you happy with your workload? Yes, I'm quite busy. The work is challenging, but I'm more than capable, and I believe I contribute a lot to this great company, Hope lied again. What about your coworkers? Do you feel you've had an opportunity to bond with them and work together as a team? Oh yes, of course. Another lie. Liz raised a thinly drawn eyebrow before continuing. I'm told you've been a great addition. I think it's cutting in and out, but I think it's back now. I'm so sorry. I can't tell if it's OBS or if it's, again, just my internet. We had no problems this morning. I did a whole entire test stream. It's okay. Thank you. Oh yes, of course, another lie. Liz raised a thinly drawn eyebrow before continuing. No worries, it happens. Thank you. Yeah. I'm told you've been a great addition to William Hensley team, especially here on the 3rd floor. She sounded rehearsed, like she was reading a script for a play she didn't want to be in. Sometimes things happen. It's okay. Hope brushed away her tone. She was getting the pat on the back she always wanted, and it felt odd, but also oh so satisfying. Well, thanks. It's the least I could do. It's the least you could do? Liz's eyebrows shot up, and her eyes squinted into scary slits. No. Hope stuttered. I definitely do my best. She was shaken up and could feel her confidence cracking. I was only joking. Liz described another note on the pad. I don't remember hiring a comedian. And with that, Hope's confidence shattered. Heat rushed to her cheeks and ear. A familiar feeling crept up from the pit of her stomach to her chest. She did her best to suppress it. With that being said, you're being reassigned, Liz continued. Reassigned? Hope wasn't quite sure where she'd been assigned to in the first place. She wasn't on a team or part of any real projects. Her only job duty was wrangling unruly customers into submission via long, drawn-out, and often uncomfortable phone calls. Once they were taken care of, her co-workers could execute projects without a demanding client puffing their hot, overly demanding breath down their necks. Mr. Hensley met with all 8 floor managers about morale and employee happiness. Liz rolled her eyes and swatted her hand at her words like they were annoyingly buzzing in her face. The result of that meeting was a restructuring of the company, and the result of restructuring is apparently New York for you. Wow, that's exciting. Thanks for the opportunity. Well, it's the least we could do. Her words dripped with sarcasm. Hope shrank into her chair and held back her tears. Liz continued. I also don't like Liz. I don't like Liz or Monica. They both stink. Yeah. You'll get a debriefing in your inbox by tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock. You'll have 3 business days after that before we expect results. She held up 3 long bony fingers for emphasis. 3 days? Is that a problem? Oh, no, it's just so much time, that's all. I see, then you have 2 days. Liz scribbled another note before swiveling her chair around. You can leave now. As Hope returned to her cubicle, a storm of emotions buzzed around her head, leaving her confused as to which feeling she should actually feel. After wrestling between Embarrassment and anxiousness, she settled on
Welcome to the Love Shack pink_umbrella.
Welcome, Pink. She settled on hesitant optimism. The meeting went horribly, and she resolved to sulk about that later, maybe after dinner, but the new assignment seemed promising. After all, a new opportunity meant new ways to prove herself to be a valuable employee. She took a mental note to share the good news with Dr. Martley. Hopefully, her restructuring includes opening the windows. A smudge. Hope thought. Because of the lack of light, her typical deep brown skin was now more of the color of lightly toasted bread, and she recently learned from her physician that she was vitamin D deficient. At the end of her workday, precisely at 8 p.m., Hope quickly packed up her belongings. Her cell phone, purse, and a granola bar she stuffed into her desk drawer as a midday snack. I'm a bit late. You're never too late. What do you mean? You just got here. Everybody just got here. I promise. Then she made her way to the nearest bus stop. She didn't have a car. Between paying rent, therapist fees, and student loans, she couldn't afford one. That's so real. Me too, girl. She didn't mind her evening bus rides, though, as they gave her time to wind down and shut off her brain for the day. No corporate speak, no jargon, no watching her body language. When the bus arrived, she excitedly hopped on, sucked deep into the ripped leather seats, and sighed blissfully. While waiting for the bus to start its journey, she looked up at her place of work, William Hensley and Associates. The most prestigious advertising agency in the South had a headquarters that was almost as impressive as its reputation. The massive glass building lit up at night, glowing purple, then green, then ominous red, and back again. It was almost hypnotic. The bus engine sputtered, pulling Hope out of her trance. As she rode, she watched the landscape morph from skyscraping office buildings and high-rises to small, compact condos and run-down apartment complexes. She was finally home. Hope lived in what was advertised as a quaint one-bedroom condo in a charming neighborhood. Oh. Which is a fancy way of saying shithole. Excuse the language, but sometimes only vulgarities will do. The deep brown carpet reeked of a mysterious odor she had yet to pinpoint, and the cream-colored paint slowly peeled from the walls, revealing the hideous chartreuse that was there before it. She could only imagine the kind of people who would paint their walls such a shocking shade of green, but they wouldn't have been friends of hers. Not that Hope had many friends to begin with, but she enjoyed the saying all the time. With all of its shortcomings, the absolute worst part of her living situation was the faulty plumbing. One toilet flush meant no running water for at least 7 hours, leaving Hope with the unfortunate task of planning her showers around her bowels. So yes, it was a shithole. The only thing she liked about the place was her mahogany bookshelf left behind by the previous owner. Whoever occupied the space before her thought the chasuble walls was acceptable, so it was no surprise they overlooked such a beautiful piece of furniture. The bookshelf was tall and sturdy, with intricate designs etched into its sides and across its top. Hope could tell it was made with the kind of gentle patience you only possess if you were in love. She imagined its creator had fallen head over heels for an avid book collector, and the bookshelf was his way of saying, "I'm madly in love with you, stay with me forever." She must have accepted placing her most prized possession within his symbol of love. Now, the bookshelf housed Hope's most prized possessions, her 280 book collection, which, how many books does everybody have? Be honest, because I have 210. And I'm trying to get rid of 47 of them to make room for, and I just bought like 4 more. So make that 214. Still trying to get rid of 47 of them.
Welcome to the Love Shack Elf Lordy Moore.
I have so many books that I haven't read yet. Oh my god. I do too. And I feel bad. Like half of them I have read, and then the other half I have not read. At least 2. I definitely have a habit of adding books to my shelf before I finish. Yes. It's so good because like you see a really good book cover. Or you read the back of the book and you're like, I'm taking this home. You have to come home with me. Hi, Di. Welcome on in. Okay. Hope plucked the faded orange book from the bookshelf and plopped down on her corduroy pull-out couch, which was also her bed. One glance at the massive pile of dishes in her sink was enough to convince her that cooking could wait until the next day. Instead, she tore open a granola bar and nibbled on it, imagining it was something else. Something meatier, like roast beef or chicken. She turned to chapter 5 of her orange book. The chapter heading read, How to Be Likeable. I have 180-ish. But I made a rule that I can't buy any books I haven't read anymore. I made that rule for myself too. But then I found a picture book that I really wanted. And then I found a childhood book that I really wanted to read. Welcome on in, Esno. Welcome on in, Captain Shane, by the way. So, yeah. I'm guilty. I also found like a learning book to learn Japanese. So I was like, I have to take it home, right? Right. That's how I reasoned with myself. I was also like, it's also my birthday. I deserve a book. Rules are made to be broken. Exactly. How to be likable. This was becoming a habit of Hope's, as she would turn to this chapter whenever she had a particularly tough day at work. These kinds of days were becoming more and more prevalent. Of course, the work itself never really stressed her out. She hardly had anything to do. Rather, it was the people that put her on edge. Our best friend Amber once explained that people were like books. You're supposed to read them and analyze what they say, she said, but also read between the lines. Read the space around the words. Read their body language. Hope would nod her head and say things like, that's true, and you're right, Amber. But she was wrong. Books were comforting. They were an escape, and they were up to the reader's interpretation. Books weren't like people. But Hope knew books could help her understand people. Good morning. Good time zone, everyone, by the way. The book she was currently reading was written by J.J. Martinez. The cover had long faded, but she remembered it started with a D, or maybe it was a B. Either way, the entire book was about starting your own business, something Hope wasn't too excited about. But chapter 5? She needed chapter 5. Being likable is every person's desire, isn't it? We're all hungry to be loved, adored, and treated with respect. When people like you, they treat you with care, and most importantly, they want to help you achieve success. While everyone wants to be likable, very few can do all it takes to be. And even fewer can keep it up. What can I say? People are fickle. Hope nodded her head in agreement as she read. People are fickle, she thought. She continued reading, taking in his advice to be funnier, more charming, and dominating the conversation while also centering the other person. This is the type of book I would read. Hi, TM. Welcome on in. It wasn't until she reached page 57 that she came across a line that made her pause. Hope. Oh, I forgot about this part. Hope, you poor excuse of an adult, spending your days prancing around pretending and spending your nights mending your sad, sullen ego. You probably haven't even done your dishes, have you? She snapped the book shut. Those words weren't there before. She flicked back to page 57. The passage was gone, but it didn't matter. Whether the words were there or not, they rocked her to her core, and that's what bothered her the most. Hope shut the orange book and slid it back on the shelf. Hope had suspected that her ability to adult was on par with her peers, and she resolved to do better. While others were getting engaged and moving up in their companies, Hope stayed stuck. As her age climbed from 23 to 24 to her current age of 25, the word tomorrow became increasingly prevalent in her vocabulary. She'll file her taxes tomorrow. She'll pay her rent tomorrow. She'll wash the dishes tomorrow. First of all, you not filing your taxes till tomorrow is crazy. The IRS will be after you. Hope better use her magic. If she has magic, she better use her magic. I'm just saying. That's dangerous. Everyone, make sure you filed your taxes this month. Please. I'm so serious. I do not need the IRS hurting nobody. They will knock down your doors. They are not nice. I was even watching a D&D campaign. They had the IRS in the D&D campaign. They took everything from him. Also, if you work for the IRS, I paid my taxes, please. I did it. Thank you, Chrono. Welcome in, Chrono. Everyone do your taxes. Not in the IRS and D&D. Yeah, it's called Dimension 20. What was it? Yeah, D&D, Dimension 20, Starstruck Odyssey. It's a really good read. It's even worse because he had a loan for his body parts because he was an android. And I was like, oh, you gotta pay them. He owed so much. They tried to take everything from him. I filed my taxes. I already filed and got my refund. Yeah. Look at all these good people. Yeah, don't play no games with the IRS. I really hope that when Hope says she would do it tomorrow, she actually did it. That tomorrow, because ooh, girl, you playing too much. Do your dishes. Oh, sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself. No, she thought, oh, wash the dishes today, right now, right this instant. Yeah, do them dishes, girl, and your taxes. Do your taxes after the dishes. Hope hovered her sink. Hope hovered over her sink full of dishes, hoping to summon the will to wash them, to prove the words on page 57 wrong. But after a few moments, she realized she didn't have a sponge, and she suddenly felt very childish. Oh. You know what? We're all gonna believe that Hope did her taxes and that she washed her dishes. I know this line said she didn't have a sponge. We're gonna pretend that she did her dishes. All right. Yeah, everyone swears. Hope. What did Hope do? She did her dishes. And her taxes. Yeah. Wow, I am a crap adult, aren't I? She sighed. I'm sorry, Hope. Chapter 2, The Assignment. Absolutely, Mr. Johnson. Yes, I definitely agree. It wasn't our best work, Hope said at her cubicle, twirling the phone cord as she whispered to the person on the other end. The website? Yes, oh yes, it could definitely be better. You're absolutely right. Mr. Johnson was one of the company's more troublesome clients, always calling to complain about one thing or the other. Hope had never met him in person, but always imagined him to be a barrel-chested older man with a sweaty upper lip. Ew. She zoned out as he continued to complain. She hadn't the faintest idea what he was yabbering on about, but considering his use of the word doohickey and thingamajig, she was confident that he was in the dark himself. Yes, you're right. She checked the clock on her desk. It was 8:53. Okay, well, I'll tell you what. I'll send your complaint to the appropriate team right now and get it taken care of for you as soon as humanly possible. Sounds good? Thanks. Great. Have a nice day. As soon as she heard his answers of in you as well, she quickly hung up before he could sneak in any extra tidbits. Requests. Just a few more minutes, she thought, shifting in her seat from the anticipation. Morning, Hope, Alex whispered before taking his seat, coffee mug in hand. Good morning, Hope answered dryly, keeping her eye glued to the time on her clock. It's 8:55 now. You feeling okay? Hope's ears perked up. She turned to face her cubicle neighbor, puzzled by his sudden interest in her life. Hope would have normally appreciated the friendly gesture, but the coffee incident was still fresh in her mind. I'm fine. I'm just fine, thanks. That's good, I was worried. Alex smiled and swiveled his chair around to face his computer. Worried? To Hope, genuine worry was reserved for family and close friends, and Alex didn't fit under either one of those categories. She let his words of concern awkwardly float through the air before batting them away and turning to face her own computer. She woke it from its sleep, watching as its screen slowly brightened into a dull glow. At the bottom corner of the screen, a large red 1 bounced up and down like an unruly child begging for attention. It was 9 o'clock. Hope's mouse hovered over the notification, acknowledging her last few moments as a lowly accounting specialist. In only a few seconds, everything would change, and the book would be wrong. That book. Hope shook the ominous ominous. Hope shook the ominous feeling that crept up her chest and clicked the email. Reassignment. Hey Hope, it's Dell from floor 6. Excited about getting reassigned? You should be. 5 people from my floor were terminated and their work... I'm sorry. Imagine you get reassigned to a job and the very first sentence, the very second sentence is literally 5 people from my floor were terminated. Y'all are sick. Y'all are sick and twisted. If you terminated 5 people, wait, hold on. 5 people from my floor were terminated and their work as a team has been given to you. This is a toxic environment. That means she has to do the work of 5 people. Are you serious? That's sick. That is sick. Oh my god. Okay. Exciting, right? Okay. Attached is a brief about the Milton account and some actual tons of numbers for you to run and organize into a 38-page report. We need to know what we did wrong, what we did right, and what you suggest we do moving forward by next Wednesday at 9 a.m. sharp. Send the reports to Liz. Don't let us down, Hope. Thanks, buddy. Dell. What you did wrong. Number 1, you fired 5 people and then gave the work of 5 people to one person. What you did right. Nothing. What we suggest you should do moving forward. Rehire the 5 people you terminated and do better. Thank you. Who does that? Thanks, buddy. Yeah, thanks, Dale. I'm sorry. That just reminded me of something at work. That's so sick. Hope closed her eyes and reopened them to read the email again. This time, she wasn't imagining things. She really was given the work of 5 people to complete in less than 5 days. If you counted the weekend, that's so sick. I'm so sorry for her. She clicked the attachment and watched as 189 pages of information appeared on her computer screen. Her foot began to nervously shake, which she quickly stifled. She wanted to cry, to throw up her hands in frustration, but instead she thought of the pile of dishes in her sink. Those dishes has been there since Thursday before. That meant she gone 8 days without cooking dinner. You're a poor excuse for an adult. The words of the book rolled through her brain, crashing into the sides of her skull and back again. This is no way to live, she thought. She sat up straight, adjusting her glasses. There was no time to worry. It was time to be an adult. I feel like so many employees are like that. If that was me... Yeah, I'm pretending I didn't get the email from Dale. That's what I'm doing. I'm like, what email? I don't see any email. There's nothing. I didn't get anything. Are you sure you sent it to the right email? Oh, can you give me an extra day then? Because I didn't receive any email. I've been waiting for it. The extra few days? Shoot, if you give me a team, please. She has to do this all by herself. This is sick. This is really sick. Hope decided the best way to tackle the project was to take things one step at a time. Unfortunately for her, the documents weren't labeled, nor were they in any sort of order, at least none that made sense. What? What? Excuse me? Did they? No. There's no way. They gave her a project that had... Hey, if you work for a corporation, run. If you work for a corporation, go ahead and run. It's okay. I understand. You need the money. Run. Just run with the money. It's okay. Run with the money. I understand. I get it. Run with the money. What if they catch you? Don't worry about it. I got you. We can hide together. This is about to be a heist. The documents weren't labeled. They weren't in any sort. They weren't in any sort of order. That gives me a headache. Imagine someone just gives you a pile of information and says, yeah, I need you to write that and make it like a 38-page essay, page report. It has to be a 38-page report. And you got to have it done in 2 days. And the only information that it says is, I'm Winnie the Pooh. It says, I'm Winnie the Pooh. And it says red shirt, green shirt, purple shirt. And that's all that's written on the paper. And you have to write a 38-page report. What am I doing? Am I a joke to you? Hope. They're treating Hope like a joke. I don't like this. When I first read this, I glossed over that. And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, you are an adult. It is time to be an adult. You got this, Hope. Now that I'm rereading it, I'm like, Hope, what are you doing, girly? What? Why are you like this? Hope decided the best way to tackle the project was to take things one step at a time. Unfortunately for her, yeah, okay. After a few hours of struggling to find clarity on her own, Hope knew she needed to ask a few questions. This made her extremely nervous, as most things did. She feared appearing incompetent, but as she stared at the unlabeled pie charts and endless spreadsheets on the screen before her, she grew increasingly anxious. These weren't well-known facts or theories that she could research independently. This was the work of 5 people, and only those five people held the key to understanding. those 5 people were also terminated. Hope combed through each document, looking for any clues she could use, anything she could latch onto to help her solve the puzzle. She swifted and sifted, and on document number 56, she finally found something. It was a sales report, or maybe an inventory report. She couldn't quite tell, with hundreds of columns listing negative numbers next to positive numbers. No text, no dollar signs, and no indication of what it could be, except for the document name. It was saved as 235XH McGregory D XLS. D. Gregory. That was a start. Hope opened her email and responded to Dell from floor 6. Reassign. Hello, Dell. Thank you for sending these documents over. The project is going well, but I did need to chat with McGregory about a discrepancy in the report. Discrepancy. Why did that take... Please ignore me, like, messing up words. I know how to read, I promise. But I did need to chat with McGregory about discrepancy in the report. Please send over his email at your earliest convenience. Thanks, Hope. She pressed send and leaned back in her chair, proud of her ability to ask questions without really asking questions. Dell's response came seconds later and wasn't quite what she expected. Hey there, Hope. Unfortunately, we're currently in a bit of a legal tussle with McGregory and the other 2 on his team. You're in a legal dispute with the people you terminated? Are you serious? This is a joke. No, you're pranking Hope. This is a prank, right? Process what you're reading, having to say it out loud is hard. I'm so for real. I say things wrong all the time. Yeah, I mess up my words a lot, or I mix them up a lot. This is so sick. No, I'm sorry. If anybody has ever been in this situation, I'm so sorry for you. And also, I really hope you got a pay raise or something, or you quit that job and you found a better job. Because in no way is this acceptable. Also, if you're in a legal tussle, quote unquote, with a person, with more than one person, then that means that they were wrongfully terminated because you weren't happy with something that they did. As in, you weren't happy about, like, probably the results of whatever they did. That's so ill. Oh my god. So I'm afraid I can't get you that email, buddy. He called me buddy one more time. If he calls me buddy one more time. But I'm happy to hear the project is going well. I'm sure one little discrepancy won't affect your workflow too much. Rock on, Dell. Okay. Hope swallowed the lump in her throat, realizing that she's not only not solving her problem, but had dug herself deeper into a lie that she was competent. Yeah, I don't even know why you told them that the thing was going well. I would have just been upfront and honest. I can't work with the materials you've given me. Because you fired 5 people who knew exactly what everything meant. So, and they left no notes. This is a joke. As all fallen child prodigies eventually discover, once your age outpaces your talent, the special label that was firmly placed on you in your youth is ceremoniously ripped from your chest in an almost cruel manner. Ain't that the truth? Hope earned high marks all through school, in every class, her entire life. Until college, that is. Ain't that the truth? She remembered the moment she tore open her report card to see a big fat D staring back at her, saying, "You're so real." She wondered if she daydreamed too often during her professor's lectures. Maybe she spent too much time at the library laughing at her best friend's jokes. Or perhaps the boy in the blue baseball cap, the handsome one with the deep brown skin that sat 2 rows in front of her, had distracted her on test day. Whatever the case, Hope's shining star had dimmed and she cried, of course. But most importantly, she finally realized what others had accepted years before. She wasn't special. She didn't have any talents beside her intelligence, and now she knew that was a lie. And she decided to continue the lie. The act of perfection, to act as if she understood, to sit up straight and start ironing her slacks until her sharp creases gave off the impression that her life was completely together. Oh my god, that is such a pattern to go into. Like, you were once like, you know, really smart and always told that you were ahead of the game, that you were mature, that you knew what you were doing. And then once you find out that no, that's not how you are, that's not how you're going to be perceived anymore because you finally failed at something. It takes like a while to like actually accept your failures and learn from them. So I actually I really connect to that part. Oh my god. Hope. We gotta get Hope out of this company. It was that fat kid that had landed her the job at William Hensley and Associates. She breezed through her interview like it was an old hat, charming her then interviewer Bill, and easily making it through the 3 rounds thereafter. It was during the orientation that she was nearly exposed by Monica, but asked her thoughts about the election. Hope stumbled, stuttering over her words, beads of sweat forming her brow. She hadn't rehearsed politics. Monica smirked, pleased with herself for chipping away at Hope's fortress of perfection. Which, like, this is work, and we don't have to talk about politics, Monica? Stinky? Anyway. Slowly but surely, Hope's true nature poked through. But she still held on by a thread, refining her act. Rather than stand out, she found it was easier to coast by, to fake, not perfection, but competency. And now even that was shattering before her. After work, Hope rode bus line number 6 back to her condo. Instead of her usual peaceful ride, Hope sat up straight and tense. Numbers and spreadsheets filled her mind, and for the first time ever, she had taken her work home with her. As frustrated and exhausted as she was, this adult milestone had not gone unnoticed. She was oddly proud, although she hadn't accomplished much. The bus came to a gentle halt at the stop about a block from her condo. Hope stood to make her departure, but before she could exit the bus, a hand lightly tapped her arm. It was the bus driver, Darius. "Are they at work?" he asked. Darius only manned the bus on Wednesdays and Fridays. Still, he and Hope had established a friendly kind of relationship where they knew each other by name and wished each other a good night. Darius' strong build, defined jawline, and the raised scar above his eye led Hope to believe he was once a college athlete. Maybe even a star in his hometown, but his dreams were dashed after an injury during the most pressing game of the season. Of course, it was just what she imagined. She could never bring herself to ask him anything about his past just in case. You usually sit right back there, all comfortable. Darius turned and pointed towards Hope's usual seat, his dreadlocks brushing against his muscular shoulder. "Now you're clutching that little briefcase and you don't look comfortable at all." Hope looked down at the leather briefcase in her hand. It was a graduation gift from her mother. It was in perfect condition because until that week, she had never used it. There was no need. "Listen," he continued, I know you work for that big company. Are they treating you all right?" Darius gave Hope a look of deep concern. "No, they're not treating her right." "Oh, they're treating me fine," she smiled. "Liar." "You sure? Because my brother, he works for one of those companies. A huge one out west, and they Well, they make things really hard for him. Giving him too much work or too little, trying to sabotage him, calling him names and then making him feel crazy for reporting them. You know what I mean? Hope knew exactly what Darius meant. I do, Hope nodded. I'm okay though, really. Just a little stressed. Well, okay. Hopefully next time I see you on this bus, you're comfortable in the back seat again. He opened the doors. Have a good night, Miss Hope. Have a good night, Darius. Hope stepped off the bus and onto the pavement. She walked past the run-down buildings and abandoned houses that paved the way to her abode. On Hope's doorstep sat a package. She sucked her teeth in annoyance as she picked it up and tucked it under her left arm. The neighbor had a problem with theft, and she informed the post office that it was to everyone's benefit to hold their packages. Instead, they continued dropping them off and leaving them as a thief bait. She plopped down on her couch bed and examined the package. It was rectangular shaped and wrapped in deep purple paper. On the front, written in a gold Sharpie, were the words, "You'll be needing this." It must have been a gift from it must have been from Amber. Hope smiled as she carefully unwrapped the gift. She and Amber were as close as childhood friends, although they only just met in college. While Amber worked as a nurse in their Midwest hometown, Hope moved down south to start work at William Hensley. The distance only deepened their friendship, as they regularly sent surprise gifts to make up for it. Hope would send Amber mugs, keychains, decorative cookies, but to Hope's delight, Amber's gifts were always the same: a book. This time, the hardcover was a deep burgundy with gold letters etched into it. There was no author, only a title that read, "How to Be a Better Adult," name drop. Hope chuckled to herself. Amber knew this was just what she needed. She thanked her later. Hope slid the book onto her precious bookshelf next to her faded orange book and decided she'd give it a read as a treat after finishing the Milton account. No time for fun and games where there was work to be done. Hope imagined that her peers cherished their weekends, using those 2 glorious days away from work to catch up with friends, spend time with family, or indulge in a drink or two. But when Hope wasn't entertaining fruitless suitors found while swapping online dating profiles, she spent her weekends alone, curled up on her couch bed with a good book. It had been a year since she moved from the small hometown to the hustle and bustle of the big city, and still, she felt like a stranger in a foreign land. This particular weekend, Hope found herself scouring through documents, consuming gallons of the most caffeinated tea she could find, and forgetting to tend to her dishes. By Sunday night, she was a full-fledged zombie, dragging her feet and slurring her words. She barely made a dent in her work and struggled to stay awake and accomplish as much as possible. She took a sip of tea and moved on to the next document. 57. At the top of the page, it read, "Hope, you know you can't solve this. Give up." She squeezed her eyes shut and counted to 10 before opening them again.
Welcome to the Love Shack Steven Shark 80.
Look mine in. The line was gone, instead replaced SWOT analysis Milton account. A small wave of panic washed over her, but only briefly. Sleep was drawing nearer, wrapping a pitch black arm around her and slowly pulling her in deeper and deeper. Chapter 3. The Lunch. On Monday morning, Hope frantically rushed through the front doors of the office with a single granola bar hanging from her mouth. And as she later found out, when she was using the washroom after lunch, her fly unzipped. Before she could make it to the glass elevators and up to the 3rd floor, she was greeted by Susan, the impossibly cheerful receptionist who sat perched at her desk, peering at Hope over her beakish noise. Her owlish eyes gleamed under the fluorescent lights. "Morning, Hope," she chirped. "Good morning, Susan." Hope flashed her a smile, trying hard to control her heavy breathing, a result of darting from the bus stop. She'd been up all night working and lost track of time. Before she knew it, she was face down her keyboard and had missed the first morning bus. We're running a bit late this morning, aren't we?" Susan pointed to the clock on her desk. It was 9:15. "We didn't think we'd see you today." Susan was one of those people who said "we" when they really meant "I." It was her gentle way of being a troublemaker. What she meant to say was, "You're late, you're a bad girl, and I'm going to tell everyone." "Oh no," Hope replied with a forced smile. "Can't get rid of me that easily." The two laughed a bit too loud. Then Hope made her way up to her cubicle, bracing herself for a scolding from Liz. "Morning!" Alex flashed one of his $1,000,000 smiles as she walked past. "Sleep late?" "Good morning," Hope smiled wide to shield the anxiety she felt bubbling her chest. "Yeah, I had a pretty hard time sleeping last night." "Ah, I see. Working hard, huh?" Hope nodded. "Yep. Well, I won't keep you. I know you've been busy." Alex swirled to face his desk only to turn back a few moments later. "Hey, so I heard about your new assignment." "You did?" "Yes, and I know it's a big one." "Oh, do you know why they gave you that project?" Hope shook her head no. "It's strange, isn't it? You'd think they assigned it to someone more seasoned." "Okay, Alex. Anyway, he's like, "Why did they give it to you? They should have gave it to me. I'm better." "Okay, Alex." Well, Hope didn't enjoy that Alex believed her to be unseasoned, but she was more disturbed to be considered a topic of discussion in office. "Can't say I find it strange. It's just that, I've been here longer than you. If anything, they should have given it to me. Not that I'm capable, it just makes sense, doesn't it?" There was a slight crack in Alex's voice, a difference from his usual confidence persona. Hope nodded her head. "I guess it makes sense. So, could you do me a favor, Hope? Could you let me help you with that project? I know you've done a lot already, but I can pick up the rest. What do you think?" Hi. Thank you for the raid. Welcome on in, Ash. How you doing? How you faring? How's your stream? Welcome on in, everyone. My name is Naya. We're currently doing a read and raid for Black History Month to uplift Black voices and Black creators alike. And we're currently reading How to Be an Adult by Jacques Isle. I hope you had a good stream. It was really good. Play Helldivers. Ooh.
Welcome to the Love Shack Swagger Boy SD21.
Your name. I love it. Play Helldivers too. I've been hearing a lot about that game lately. I hope it was fun. I hope you guys had fun with Ash. Okay. Hope racked her brain for the best way to say no. As Alex stared at her with his pleasant eyes and slight smile, what she said instead was, "Okay, sure. Great. Let's go over it during lunch. I'll buy." Hope nodded her head in agreement. She never interacted with a coworker outside of work, and even at work, she never moved beyond empty whispered banter. She was suddenly wrought with anxiety. What if we run out of things to talk about, she thought, running through the mental catalog of conversation starters she picked up over the years. It was odd the way gossip spread through the office. After phones were banned and Liz mandated the whisper policy, it was nearly impossible to have meaningful conversations without either party whispering, "What did you say?" a dozen times. So the floor relied on sticky notes to spread news, good, bad, and unnecessary. No one stuck notes on Hope's desk, but occasionally she'll find crumpled up notes meant for Holly from Janie to her wastebasket after lunch. One note described how Janie had a one-night stand with a magician who wooed her with his tricks but ended up disappearing in thin air the next morning. Hope wasn't quite sure whether the message was meant to be taken literally. She never mentioned this because she was interested in the juicy bits of conversation that had managed to flow her way and didn't want the accidents to stop. As Hope trudged through the project, she couldn't help but wonder who could have possibly told Alex what she was working on. She ruled out Liz. She was too sensible to gossip, and had she known work time was being devoted to discussing magical one-night stands, she would have found a way to nip that in the bud. You ready? Alex had rolled his chair over to Hope's side of the cubicle. Hope glanced at her clock. It was 12 o'clock on the dot. She nodded her head. Yeah, I'm ready. Okay, let's go. I'll drive. Drive? Hope whispered. But we're not allowed to leave the building for lunch. We sit here in a dark owl all day. We could use a little light. Don't you think? He winked mischievously. Come on. He's gonna get her in trouble. He's gonna get her in trouble. I just know it. Look, he winked at her. Alright, buddy. Hope hesitantly followed Alex through the office to the glass elevators that sat at the other end of the floor. She could feel eyes in the dimness following the two as they maneuvered around the dark cubicles and glowing computer screens. She thought she might have even heard a gasp, but it could have been a stroke of computer keys or the groan of an old rolling chair. As the two took the elevator down to the first floor, they filled the awkward atmosphere with the usual empty corporate banter. Crazy clients, swamped with work, text time was right around the corner. By the time they reached the front desk, Hope worried that Alex would tell the others she was dull and not worthy of asking to lunch. See you in a few, Susan. Alex waved at Susan, who sat perched at her desk like an owl, watching all of the comings and goings. Bye, Alex, she chirped before looking at Hope. Oh, wait, are you two heading out together? Hope rolled her eyes. In her head, of course, in reality, she gave her a weak smile. Yes, we're headed to that little cafe down the street for lunch. Cafe Domont. Alex smiled wide as he spoke to her. So you're leaving the building for lunch? Isn't that against third floor policy? Susan leaned over the edge of her desk, eyes wide as she had just heard a juicy secret. This is important business. Liz, understand. Alex shot her a warm smile. Well, okay, if you say so. She slowly settled back onto her perch. Ooh. Hi, what's going on here? Oh. Here you go. Oh, does that not work? And yeah, today we're just today I'm reading we're doing a read and raid stream that was created by Pedal Pages to uplift Black voices and Black authors. Right now we're reading How to Be a Better Adult by Jackie's Eye. Hi Naya, hope everyone's doing well. Hello, welcome on in. Is it Merity? It's nice to meet you, Merity. Welcome on in. Ooh. See you after lunch, Susan. And hey, how about we bring you something? How does that sound? Susan's face lit up. Sounds delicious. The two laughed together and Alex waved goodbye. Hope remained quiet and held her breath as they left the building and walked towards the parking garage across the street. The sun bathed Hope in warm light. She squinted her eyes to shield her pupils from the intense rays. It wasn't often that she felt the sun. She hadn't remembered it being so hot. When the pair reached Alex's car, Hope was shocked by its sleek, high-end exterior. Alex caught her admiring eye. It was a gift. He opened the passenger door for her, waited for her to get in. For my father. Well, he definitely loves you, Hope said with a laugh as she settled into the comfortable leather seats. She was proud of herself. Her banter was approving. A pain expression spread across Alex's face. Yeah. Oh. Hope shrank a bit, realizing she may have made a mistake. Sorry. Marity. Oh, Marty. But I'm doing well. Marty? Oh, Marty. No, I'm doing well, thanks. That's good to hear. Hope shrank a bit, realizing she may have made a mistake. Sorry. For what? He sat in the driver's seat and paused. You know, Hope, I owe you an apology. Me? Yeah, for the other day. You're not my assistant. It's not your job to fetch me coffee. I was so deep in my work, I didn't realize what I was doing. But then Monica told me. He glanced at his expensive-looking wristwatch. Ah, we got to get going. He started the engine and loud classical music blared from the speakers, drowning out the silence in the car. What did Monica tell you? Hope wanted to shout this to shake Alex into finishing his sentence. Instead, she turned to look out of the window and watched the landscape blur by. Here we are. Alex parked in front of a French corner cafe with an intricate carved wooden door framed by sprawling vines and blooming flowers. Outside, finely dressed patrons sat at round wrought iron tables and slipped out of fine china. Cafe de Monde looked like something out of a fairy tale. Wow, it looks so nice. Doesn't it? That's a first. Does it? That's a first. Alex chuckled and shoved his hands deep into his pocket. He walked past the cafe, turning the corner into an alley. Alex? Hope hesitantly followed. Alex? Right here. Alex stood in the alley, opening a small unmarked metal door and gestured for Hope to enter. He must have caught the confused look on her face because he chuckled and added, "It's a hole in the wall." Okay. Hope stepped through the door and Alex crouched behind her, his tall frame a bit too lofty for the small entryway. A short set of steps led to a small dining room with 2 tables, one large and one small, and a cash register where an elderly woman was slumped over, sleeping and snoring quite loudly. On the walls was spilling flooring wallpaper, almost as atrocious as the chasuble that peeked from the walls of Hope's condo. And on the ceiling was a small, crooked chandelier. Alex tapped on the sleeping woman's shoulder and she woke with a start. What? Where am I? Ow? Ow! Her wide eyes were rimmed in cakey, bright blue eyeshadow and her frizzy white hair seemed to stand on end. Hey Nan, it's me, Alexander. Oh, Alexander, my boy! She gave Alex a warm embrace. It's always good to see you. And who is this beauty? A girlfriend, I hope? Nan winked. Alex laughed. No, this is my co-worker, Hope. We don't have much time. He looked at his watch. In fact, we should already be heading back to work. Hope gasped. She would surely get fired. She wondered if that was Alex's plan all along. Alex continued, so we need our food fast. The usual? The usual. Oh, that's so cute. His grandmother owns that building. Nan disappeared through a set of double doors directly behind her, and Alex took a seat at the large table. I've been coming here since I was a kid. I love this place. Shouldn't we be heading back to work? I sat across from him. Don't worry, they won't fire you. Not today. What do you mean, not today? We're both on the chopping block, but they won't swing the axe today. Not yet. Not so soon after the lawsuit. Alex removed a napkin from the dispenser on the table and laid it on his lap. Panic shot through Hope's chest. Lawsuit? How do you know all this? She remembered Dale's email. Does this have to do with McGregory? Don't worry about the technicalities, Alex brushed away Hope's questions. Just know that you don't deserve to be fired, and neither do I. So we've got to work together. Please tell me about this project. What's the deal and what can I do to help? Thank you, bestie. What's the deal and what can I do to help? If it gets done right, we'll both look good. Well, Hope took a breath. Her foot nervously tapped against the shaky wooden table. To be honest, I'm stuck. Most of the documents are unlabeled. There are spreadsheets with no values, pie charts with no numbers, and information with no meaning. I'm supposed to turn in a 30-page report this Wednesday. She paused and looked down to suppress the tears of frustration that welled in her eyes. I just don't know what to do. At that moment, Nan burst through the door behind the cash register, balancing 2 bowls of creamy escargot soup with baguettes. She hummed as she danced her way to the table, clinking the dishes down with a large, toothy grin. Just as soup flew out of the bowl and onto Hope's lap. Eat up! Thanks, Nan. Alex smiled and turned to Hope as he dipped his baguette into the broth. You heard her. Eat up. It's good. Hope did as she was told and spooned a tiny bit of soup into her mouth. While it was delicious, her worry robbed the taste from her tongue. Give up, the world swirled through her thoughts, and this time they stuck. The project is impossible. Maybe we should just look for other job. Alex used his hand to bat away her idea. I've been offered 3 other positions since last week, but I'm not accepting. Where's the challenge in that? I don't care about the job. They pay us peanuts. But I do care about coming on top. I can't be fired. That's like, well, it's like losing. I suppose it is. So here's what we'll do. Don't worry about the project. I got buddies who work with numbers. They owe me a favor or two. Just send me the documents and by Wednesday morning your problem will be solved. All I ask is to let Liz know I help. And I appreciate that, but I don't think this is meant to be a group Hey, I'm sure they prefer it gets done no matter what means, don't you think? Makes sense, Hope thought about the offer. So if I do this, will I be one of those buddies who owes you a favor or two? A sly grin crept across Alex's face. Of course. Back at the office, Alex tossed Susan a crepe from Cafe Domont, which she caught with delight. Her nose pecked into the tree as she held it up to her face, taking its sweet scent. Tell me if you love it, and I'll bring you more, Alex winked, and Susan giggled like a schoolgirl. You'll keep her mouth shut now, Alex whispered in the elevator. Dang, Alex! He's catching me off guard. Hope responded with an understanding nod. She quite liked Alex. There was something about him, something she couldn't pinpoint, that made her want to spend more time with him. She was drawn to him. In fact, for the rest of the day, he was all she could think about. Aww. The book. Hey, Amber. After work, Hope spoke to her friend Amber on the phone. She worked nights at the hospital, so they usually only had one odd day a month to catch up. How things going with Jimmy? Ugh, the usual. Always on the verge of packing up and leaving him. Oh, girl. Okay. I'm sure he'll get it together soon. Jimon was Amber's boyfriend of 5 years, and no matter how much she complained about him, Hope knew her friend was truly head over heels. Girl, forget about him. Amber sucked her teeth. How are things at work? You getting some sunlight? Nope. Still dim as ever, but everything's fine. I spent some time with coworkers at lunch, actually, and, well, Hope didn't want to worry her friend with threats of firing and overwhelming projects. How's the hospital? Liz say you go to lunch now? Who was it? And the hospital's fine. Had another patient die on me last night. It gets less and less painful each time, which worries me. I don't want to be desensitized by death, you know? I'm sorry, I can't imagine how you feel. That must be the worst. No, it's okay. Death is part of life, right? And it's my job. I knew what I signed up for. There was a few moments of silence on the other end. Now tell me about the coworker. Well, he invited me to a French cafe for lunch. He? What's his name? Did he pay? Alex, and yeah, he did. So you're finally embroiled in an office romance. No, it's not like that. Of course it's like that, silly. A man doesn't pay unless he is interested. Well, maybe. Hope's mind was suddenly struck with a much more important thought. Hey, Amber, do you know what could be wrong with a person who's seeing things that aren't there? Seeing things? Well, there could be a number of reasons for her. Her voice trailed, and Hope could hear muffled voices in the background. Amber? Sorry, I've got to go to get to work. She returned to the phone with a hushed voice. It was nice catching up as always. It was, and thanks for the book. It looks interesting. Book? I didn't send a book. Amber, another pause. Sorry, I have to go. The phone clicked and Amber was gone. Hope pulled the gift from her bookshelf. Amber must be trying to trick me, she thought before sitting on her couch bed and opening How to Be a Better Adult to page 1. There was no author, no publisher, just a list, a bare bones list that read, punch fear in the face, dig your way out of debt, conquer the workplace, grab life by the horns, chase your goals, build your nest egg, seek the ring, kiss your old life goodbye. I need that book. I really do need that book. Wait a minute. That's a good book to have. Welcome on in, Blaze. I want to read chapter 1, Punch Fear in the Face, and chapter 2, Build Your Net. Wait, yeah, I want all of this. Hope flipped through the rest of the book. There was hundreds of pages, and every single one besides the first one was completely blank. Her suspicions was confirmed. It was a gag book, the ones they sell around April 1st to trick your bookish friends. It was a cruel joke, really, but not beyond Amber. In college, she was always the prankster. Hope signed and slid the book into her briefcase. At least it would make a nice journal. Oh, girly. I don't think she gave you that book. That's what I think. Chapter 5. The 7th floor. I'm actually very surprised we got to chapter 5. The 7th floor. The next morning, Alex didn't show up for work. Oh no. This made Hope extremely uneasy. By noon, she had drafted an email asking about his whereabouts, but then decided against it. If he had been fired, they would surely read it in incoming emails of his. But if he had been fired, she would surely be fired too. Hope knew her chances of completing the project before the next morning was slim. So she resigned to make the most of what she considered her last day at William Hensley Associates. She printed out a few spreadsheets, readied her highlighter, and started work on a piece of art. She set out to create an intricate snail inspired by her lunch at Cafe de Monde. As she finished up this snail shell, a small red 1 appeared on her computer screen, grabbing her attention. It was an email from Monica requesting she come to her office on the 7th floor as soon as possible. As a potential hire, a meeting with Monica meant you got the job. You meet with her for orientation and get a brief tour of all the best floors. Then at the end, you'd be released to your brand new floor manager. It was exciting stuff, but for current employees, meeting with Monica were never a good thing. They either meant you were being reprimanded, fired, or encouraged to resign. And now, thanks to Alex, Hope knew she was on the chopping block. I'll be right up, she responded before taking the elevator to the 7th floor.
Welcome to the Love Shack NB Prince Salem.
Thank you for the follow. The 7th floor was nothing like the 3rd. It was bright and spacious with no cubicles. Instead, groupings of tables took their place, lined with smiley employees that actually spoke to one another. Some were sharing screens, pointing and explaining. Others leaned back in their chairs, laughing at what Hope was sure were witty office jokes. The glass office that lined the back walls housed beanbag chairs and other colorful knickknacks. Hope couldn't quite make out, but she just knew they were fun. If heaven were an office, the 7th floor would be it. As Hope made her way to Monica's office, she locked eyes with Sarah Lyon, the 7th floor manager whose long blonde hair fluttered as she bent over laughing with a table employees. Hey. Sarah Lynn popped up and stuck her hand out for Hope to shake. The name's Sarah Lynn. Welcome to the 7th floor. Are you an intern? You must be an intern. She smiled wide, deepening the lines that framed her mouth. Hope sighed. She met Sarah Lynn many times before. No, I'm Hope, remember? An account specialist from the 3rd floor. Aw, a new hire. A new hire? That's odd. Too bad you wound up on that gloomy 3rd floor. But Liz is a doll. What do you need? Are you here for a tour? Of course you're here for a tour. No, I'm meeting with Monica. Oh, you must be here for orientation, of course. She crossed her arms and smiled deeply. Follow me. She is not listening at all. Jesus. Here it is, or is it? Sarah Lynn laughed to herself. Of course it is. Happy onboarding. Oh, I skipped words. I'm so sorry. Hope followed Sarah to Monica's office. The glass walls that made up her office was oblique, blurring her silhouette and shielding her from nosy coworkers. Here it is, or is it? Sarah Lynn laughed as herself. Of course it is. Happy onboarding. Hope thanked her and knocked on the door. Come in, a voice called out from within. Before Hope could reach for the knob, the door slung open, revealing Monica, who stood with a look that could only be interpreted as irony. I said you can come in. Hurry, I don't have much time. You literally just said it. Oh my god. She's in a bad office space. She really is. You wanted to meet with me? Hope entered and sat on one of the 2 leather chairs facing Monica's small desk. Monica took her place at the desk and weaved her fingers together. She gave Hope an accusatory look. You wanted to meet with me? Hope asked while nervously adjusting her glasses. Yes, Monica rolled her eyes. That's why I sent you a meeting request. Well, what's up, my Hope sign? I hear your relationship with Alex has stepped into an inappropriate territory. Okay, Monica. Whatever. Wait, what? You allotted a 20-minute lunch and you were both gone for 43 minutes yesterday. She tapped on her desk with her manicure finger. I counted. What were you two doing? What? You counted? Aren't you supposed to be in HR, Monica? How about you mind your business? I'm sorry. Oh, I don't like Monica. I really don't like Monica. Okay. Hope clutched the arms of the chair and her fingernails dug deep into the leather. He invited me to lunch. And that's it. We went to a cafe and came right back. See, that's the thing that puzzles me. First, you're fetching coffee for him like a lowly assistant, and now he's taking you to cafes. Something doesn't add up. Girl! Okay. Alex asked me to go. Why aren't you asking him? How do you know I haven't? She snapped. Hope remained silent, remembering Alex's absence. Monica continued. Have you heard about the budget cuts? Hope shook her head no. Well, now you know. Time is money and people like you are expendable. Think about the next time you break the rules and go to lunch. Hope thought of opposing and pressing Monica for what she meant by people like you. Okay. Have a good one. Have a good one, Sage. That career ending pen. I understand. Great. Have a productive day. Monica smiled and motioned towards the door. No, because wait a minute. What did she mean like people like you? That's first of all. Second of all, this is not our fault. This is literally not our fault. I'm saying this is not Hope's fault. I actually feel personally attacked because like, why is she coming at us? If you like Alex and tell him that you like him or something. Like, we're not even doing anything. Hope's not even doing anything. She's literally minding her business. You wanted to take her out. If you got a problem, take it up with him. Whatever. Hope did not have a productive day. So true. She finished her snail art and moved on to a lopsided bear. Lopsided because she was distracted and she was worried about Alex. She took one last look at Alex's empty chair before packing up for the day. She packed a little more than usual as she figured she'd need a head start when it came to clearing her desk after her inevitable firing. She wished that Monica had fired her right there and then. At least she would have gotten it over with. Oh, what time is it? Oh no. Okay. It is 7:50. Hi, Mac. It is 7:50. I think, and I have to end at 8. Okay. So we're going to stop at chapter 6. I think I can read just a little bit. Yeah, okay. I'm going to read a little bit of chapter 6 and then we're going to actually switch over to playing a game that Sage made herself, called Where We Bloom. It's a very quick game. It's very beautiful and she made it in 7 days and I'm very proud. And that's my timer too. Chapter 6. Punch Fear in the Face. Hope arrived for work an hour late. She hadn't got much sleep and instead stayed up sorting through all the possible outcomes of going to the office the next day. Would Liz give her a verbal lashing first before passing her on to Monica? Would Dale descend from the 6th floor to see her fumble in person? Or maybe Sarah Lynn would finally remember her name. It was a toss-up. As Hope slid past Susan's perch, she surprisingly didn't say a word. She only watched Hope with large, knowing eyes. Hope treaded through the 3rd floor cubicle maze with her head down, avoiding the eyes that were surely following her movements. On that day, she appreciated the dimness that it made it easier to disappear, or at least try to. She walks past Alex's empty chair and sat on her own, waking her computer from its slumber. There were messages waiting for her, of course, 2 to be exact. One was a message from Liz, and the other an urgent email from Dale. Hope's shaky hand hovered her mouse over the urgent message before opening it. Reassignment. Hi Hope, great job on the project. Alex sent it over. You two make a stand-up team. Look out for a follow-up meeting with Liz. Stay groovy, Dale. Oh my god, he did it. He did it. Oh my god, that's so crazy. I never doubted him for a second. I did doubt him. I doubted him for every second, actually. That's so crazy though. Oh my god, he did it. No, Dale. Not Dale. Forget Dale. Dale stinks. Go, Alex. Woo! Oh my god, maybe he does like her. She breathed a sign of relief and stifled the smile that fought to creep up across her face. So Alex still kept his word. Hope happily moved on to Liz's email, expecting a message of congratulations. The same a war hero would receive after returning home, bruised and battered but still victorious. Instead, the message only contained 3 words. My office, 1 p.m. Oh. And we gotta stop there. We're gonna play When We Bloom real quick. Game created by Sweet X Sage. Okay. Hey, Dandy. Looks like a beautiful day out. Oh yeah, it's a gorgeous day to code. Code? Yeah, like my maker. Anyways, I'm kind of thirsty. I'm gonna find water. We found water. Oh. Bowie, I found some water. Hi, Dandy. Great to see you. Hi, Quan. You've been grinding so hard. I hope you find a snack soon. Me not being able to pick up stuff. Oh. Be like Dandy. Drink water and eat food to grow. I just wanted to play that real quick because I watched quite literally the entire process of Sage going a little bit crazy and making this game in what I think 7 days or less, and they did such an amazing job with it. The premise of it is to make sure that you take care of yourself and that you hydrate and you eat and make sure that you take care of yourself. And I just thought that was really beautiful and a really well-made game. And honestly, you work on it a little bit more, it could be like a full-fledged game, like make it longer, make it stages, have obstacles. I don't know. I think it's a real cool premise of the game. But yeah, thank you guys for coming. I want to say thanks again to Lala and Sage for making this stream possible. This is the script for book recommendations. This is the book itself, so you guys can get it yourself and read it. And thanks again for coming and celebrating Black voices with me and my community. We're going to raid Lala soon. Give me a second. So make sure you copy the raid message. And I hope that you guys have a wonderful and lovely day. Thank you again for all the follows and coming to my Love Shack. Have a good one. Okay.